to introduce you to Helen. Helen is one of my amazing clients. She's a health coach. She's gonna tell you more about her business, what she does. But I wanted to show with you what's possible and what was possible for her and how you can make this for you too. So let me introduce you to Helen. Is here. Hello, Helen. How are you?
Hello, Natalie. Really well. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm so happy for you to be here. So basically, well, can you tell us a little bit more about you? So, where are you from? I don't know, a little bit about your family if you want to share a little bit. And also, what type of coaching do you do, please?
Yes, sure. So I'm from England in the UK, and I'm a homeschooling mother to three boys,
Hmm.
and I became a health coach. So what I do is I work with professional mothers and I help them to reconnect with themselves, to change their energy levels, to bring their confidence up so that they can start thriving in life and becoming the role models they want to be for their children and themselves.
I love it. So I'm very curious about like we're gonna share this interview like knowing how everything like changed for you. How did you build your business? So can you share with us a little bit more about your background? So where were you when we met? How do we met? How did we met? In a little bit more about like what was the beginning of our relationship and how, and also I would like to know a little bit like um how did you get into coaching too?
Yes. So I, in the past, have had therapy and life coaching myself, and it's been really valuable, and my husband as well. So we're actually a family that believes in coaching and mentoring and therapy. So it's very much a part of our lifestyle already. And I'd always intended to go and train as a life coach. However, when COVID struck, it changed our lifestyle dramatically. So my husband was made redundant, and we decided to leave everything, pack up, rent out our home, and go traveling with our children. So we went around Europe and traveled with our three boys and our dog in a VW camper van.
Oh,
And whilst I was doing that, I trained to become a life coach, because it was so important for me and for our family that health leads the way. That, you know, you're only, there's a quote that says healthy people have so many goals, whereas sick people, you know, they only have one or two, and that's to get
yes.
healthy again. Once you have your health, you can achieve so much. Health
Mm-hmm.
is everything.
Love it.
So yes, so I trained to become an international life coach and specialize in health, particularly mothers, because there's so many things that we are juggling, and you know, our energy levels can be really low and our confidence can be low. There were so many things going on, so I help them with their lifestyle. So when I met you, Natalie, you were living my dream already. And I think that's why I gravitated towards you, because you were already a successful coach and
Thank
you
you.
were traveling and living the lifestyle that I wanted. And so I wanted to connect with you because I wanted to gain your knowledge and learn from you so that I too could be a successful coach and travel the world with my children.
Mm, I love it. Thank you so much for that. And I love that. One of my main motivations for getting into coaching is showing people like, like yourself that it's possible to have, we don't have like only, whether only work or only travel, sometimes people, we think that we just can pick one, but it's possible to
Mm,
have two. Why not? It's
it
all
is.
about beliefs. Like why people think so many times we think like, or whether I travel or whether I have a job or whether I stay with my kids or whether I go and work in my business. Why can't we do everything? So So you are a very good example for that, right? You travel, you
Thank
have
you.
your husband, you have your kids. I mean, it's and you enjoy what you do, right? So we're gonna talk a little bit more about that, but um, so it's so beautiful to know that. So tell me a little bit more, like what was something that like pushed you to start a conversation with me at the very beginning? Where were you at that time?
Yes, I think when we first initially met, it was because although I was gaining my accreditation, I had very little business knowledge in terms of launching a business on social media. I literally had no marketing experience and I didn't have a plan. There was no structure. I had an idea about my niche, but it wasn't clarified. So there were so many grey areas, and it's fantastic having your accreditation. But if no one knows about you and no one knows what you do or what value you can add to their lives, you're not going to be a successful coach. So
Wow,
I
love it.
needed that gap bridging.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
So that's, yes, so that was what attracted me to your program.
thank you so much. And can you share a little bit more? So you mentioned something very interesting, which is, you were having your accreditation in coaching, and you mentioned, like, if you don't know, like, how to make business, you cannot show people how to do it. So maybe in your coaching program itself, where you in your certification, did you have some training about business, a little bit like idea how to get clients?
Yes, so we had a section on business, and it was things like starting your own website, connecting with journalists. It touched upon social media and Instagram, and it was all very valuable, but it didn't go in depth. So I needed more time. I needed a structure to follow, and this is where your coaching program came to light because it was in depth and there was a clear roadmap to get there. And so, we touched on the course upon a niche, but we didn't delve into it. There wasn't the time, and that's not the way that the accreditation was set up. So it was very much learning about the coaching and gaining your accreditation as a coach. But then afterwards, it's another section where you need to then go away and learn about your niche and what value you can add and what you need to do to expose yourself and get clients.
Mm. I love it. I remember when we had our first conversation ever. I remember you mentioned that you don't have a niche. You wanted to work with moms, but you didn't know how to do it. So how confident do you feel right now with your niche? Like how confident do you feel? How easy for you was to discover? Or what was the main, like, breakthrough towards the niche?
Definitely going through the process of building your own program. So when you delve into your niche and you get to know who your ideal client is and the pains that they're going through and how they're feeling about themselves and where you want them to be, and it is filling in the gaps and find out, right, this is where they are now, this is how they're feeling, this is where you want them to be, this is where they want to be. What knowledge, what tools are they missing, and providing that value. And that's what
Mm,
your program is, adding value. The more you add, the more successful your program will be. So it's finding that out and connecting with that. So yes, that
mm.
was what I did and kind of initially.
Yeah, I love it. So we were working in the ideal client, and then we work about, like, in the offer itself. So we created a process too, right? And also we defined basically a premium process. So um we are talking about premium here, like about like high ticket programs. Like, why do you think that a program is premium for you, and how confident do you feel now to sell your program as a premium to people?
I think we tend to, at the beginning, sell ourselves quite short, because when we begin this journey, we can have our own limiting beliefs about how much we're worth and how much we should charge. And, I had those, especially at the beginning. But then you look at your own experiences, you look how much money you've invested in yourself, and not only money, the amount of time that you've invested in yourself. And also, people want to pay more for a program that they feel that they are going to get a lot of value from. They're happy to pay big ticket prices, knowing that you're going to give them the value that they need. So in the program that I've created with you, in the process, there are tools in there, there are nutrition plans in there. It is all personalized. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, to do this. And I had to get my head around charging the big ticket prices at the beginning, but they are worth it because I know how much value that they add. And when you take that into consideration and how much people are willing to pay for the value, then
Mm-hmm.
it's worth the big ticket prices. Sometimes you don't invest as much in yourself if you're not actually paying the big ticket prices. It's
Mm-hmm.
sometimes better to pay the big price, you invest more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree with that 100%. And in this case, I remember also that you part of your certification is like you work with free clients to gain an experience, like pro bonus. So in this case, like I remember, can you share with us a little bit like what was the process that you were doing? Like you sent them some emails, some of them they told you no. Can you share a little bit about that and how we made this transition with the program for you can get your first clients?
Yes, so I, like a lot of coaches at the beginning, you do a lot of pro bono work and you hope that it turns into paying clients. There is a strategy that you taught me, and we went through together, the messenger strategy, and it's very much, I went through that and I learned it. So very much adding, finding out what their pains are and talking that through with them, finding out their own limiting beliefs, their blocks, what they've tried to do to find a solution themselves and why it's not working. And so you build that rapport with the clients, and it's as much for you as it is for them. So as much as we would love to help everyone, it's
Mm-hmm.
not possible, and it would be a waste of everyone's time. So it's about finding out whether then they are your ideal client. If you can actually help them, can you make the difference and add the value? If you
Yes.
go through the process of, finding out if they are your ideal client and that you can add value, that you then have the confidence to go through the messenger strategy because you know that you're going to add value. And
Mm-hmm.
then you're just talking them through with that and giving them the confidence to invest in themselves.
Love it, love it. So then you could make this transition, right? So you could sell. So can you share a little bit more before talking about like your big achievements? Why, when we had our call to understand a little bit better your situation, was your husband there too, right? And we
Yes.
we were talking about like what was your initial situation, where do you want to go, and also how this can be possible for you. So what thoughts came up to your mind like in the moment that we were talking about what was possible for you, and like why did you decided that that was the time to change, to start building a business instead like waiting like 1 more month or 2 more months to see if your certification can give you that?
Oh, I remember that call. I was so scared. I was really, really nervous. And it felt very uncomfortable for me because it was an investment to myself. And I was not used to investing in myself. So for me, it was having my husband there as the reassurance, because I felt I needed that at the time to make that decision, that commitment to myself, that investment. Looking back now, I'm like, whoa, that's, I really needed this, because how crazy is it that I'm giving power to other people to make my dreams come true? And yeah, it was so powerful realizing that now, looking back. So initially, yes, my husband was there for the decision. And why now? Why the urgency was because I didn't want to wait anymore. I wanted to, as Tony Robbins says, burn your boats. I wanted to take this plunge and make it happen now, because there is never the right time, ever. And so to keep putting it off is only hurting myself and hurting my family. So it takes that leap of faith in yourself to do it. And then once you do it and you make that commitment, then you just go and keep going with it, and keep working and keep following the steps, and go. Don't give up and be on the roller coaster, and
Yeah.
just go, because you've got to believe in yourself.
That's beautiful. I remember clearly that call, and it's so true about like burning the bows and knowing that yeah, that you are heading towards a new life, right? So were you a little bit afraid? I mean, you said that you were a little bit afraid of investing, in yourself. Like, um, were you thinking about like being resourceful, right? Were you thinking about being resourceful instead just saying like, "Hey, I don't have the money to do this." How are you thinking at that moment?
At that moment, there was a clear gap, because yes, I was an accredited coach, but I did not know how to build a business on social media. And so, yes, it's a financial investment, but there was a gap in my skill set that needed filling. So it's important then to go and seek the people that are already fulfilling that, they're already doing that, and learning from them.
Mm,
So it's an investment that I needed to make to become successful. And
mm.
that's what I needed.
Love it. So before you, when you had your pro bonus, did you already have an offer, or did you already have like a price to charge if they convert, or how was the situation there?
So initially I was thinking about an hourly rate rather than
Mm-hmm.
a package. And actually, once you sell a package, and you really need a package, because, for them to have a transition and to make a change, they have to have that commitment themselves. You can't really do a lot in 1 or 2 sessions. So, it does take, I say, a minimum of 6 weeks, but I do a package for 10 weeks, because then you build the new habits and you make the transformations. So you need a package, you need that time. And then with the cost of the package, initially I felt uncomfortable with how much I was going to charge. But then, like I said before, you see the value that you're adding, and you learn about your program, you build your program so that you know all the tools that are in it. And then when you look at it as a program, you think, right, no, actually, that is worth the money that it's worth, because it's 10 weeks of somebody's life, and it will change their world, their life so much. It is worth that investment themselves.
Love it. Love it. Yes, yes. When we sometimes what I see is like if we charge per hour, we don't see a long-term change, but if we create a package where people can see the transformation, we can really create a huge impact in their lives, right? So
Yes.
I, I would like to know a little bit more like so basically you achieved like you were following, can you share us a little bit like the process like in steps maybe, like how did you get these your paid clients in how long did it take you for you to sign up your first clients?
So I think we started, I'm trying to think the time frame, probably in about 6 weeks of working together. I was
Mm,
having my full paid clients. So the process for me was very much, it was building an audience as well. So even before that, actually, it was the business foundations. So finding out from the early stages who your niche is, like what your niche is, who your ideal client is, building your program then. So going through the process of putting a program together. Once you know that, then you can start adding value on social media because you know what value you need to add. So, for example, I'm a health coach and I work with clients changing their lifestyle habits in fitness, nutrition, so that they have better energy levels and gain more confidence through this. So I knew then that I need to focus my posts on those topics. And
mm,
I knew who my ideal client is, so I knew what questions to ask. And
mm,
then you can do things, you build up your social media following, and you know which groups to join and which conversations to start and what to talk about, because you've already done all the work previously to know
mm,
who your ideal client is and what you are delivering. So you're not wasting your time like fishing around going, okay, could I help this person, specifically who you can help. And then you gain conversations with them, you gain rapport, and it's a relationship with people. You want to be
mm.
able to add value to them, so you have conversations to see whether you're the right person for them and whether you can actually help. And if they're looking for somebody like you, fantastic, and you make the transition then together and go through the triage calls and the discovery calls, getting to know what you both want. And then it's very comfortable then, because you already know what you're after in terms of the client and who you can help, and then you reassure them.
Love it. Oh, love it. Thank you for sharing that. And what are you feeling most proud about? Like, you got your clients, but what are you feeling most proud about? Your life, your decisions.
Oh wow, what do I feel most proud about? Probably being able to actually show other mothers that this is possible, because
Mm,
especially after the pandemic as well, we had a lot of mothers homeschooling, and there's a lot going on. And it's fantastic to say to them that it is possible. Like anything you want to do is completely possible. It's just having the courage to take the steps to the life that you want to lead. So I mean, for me, it's having the freedom to travel anywhere in the world with my three boys, whilst
love it.
having a career and homeschooling as well. So this is my dream. This was what I wanted to create for my life, and I'm doing it. It
Mm,
is possible. And
yes.
you have to have that confidence in yourself first and that self-belief, and start making the choices that support that, so that you can make your own dream a reality.
Mm, love it. So you now like you're mentioning now you can stay with your kids, you can have the business, you can keep getting clients. What do you think that's next for you? What are your next goals?
So my next goals, my next business goals are building my audience and building my profile on social media. So just continuing with that, because obviously the bigger the audience, the more people you can reach, and then the more clients you can possibly have. I did already reach my weekly goals. So now it's my monthly goals. So I've yet to get my 10K. So I want my 10K month.
Love
So
it.
that's a financial goal that I'm yet to achieve, but I am confident that I will get there. So that's a good new goal for me. And to keep learning. We never stop learning. So there is so much information out there, so much to engage with. So just to keep learning, and it's just adding value. I fully believe in the program that I have. So the more people I can connect with, the bigger difference I make. Fantastic. And also I give 10% of my earnings or whatever I make to a Save the Children charity, because
Love
I
it.
wanted to give back, and that's really true to my values. So far I've given more than I've ever given in my life back to charity.
Love
And
it.
I want to somehow probably do some more volunteering, or start to look at, because it is quite a chunk now that I'm investing. So I would like to kind of do some work with the Save the Children charity and look at building something with them. So
I love that. I love that overall, because we in the coaching business we focus also in impact, in transformation, in creating like a chain of transformation. So it's so beautiful what you're sharing, and you mentioned also about the audience, that now your next step is building the audience. So how cool is that, that you already signed clients, you already got, like you mentioned, like around like 2,800 pounds in a week, and without even building an audience. How can you share with us, how is that possible? What's important really in the business, in the coaching business, instead like having a huge audience and then start to selling?
it's definitely having the business foundations in place, so it is known precisely who you are, why you're doing what you're doing, knowing your ideal client and what you can offer. So once you know that, and you've got the confidence in that and fully believe it, then you know that you can add value, and you know that you can talk through with clients and talk through how you can show them the process that you'll take them through to get the results that they want to. If you don't know how, you're not going to be able to sell anything.
Yes.
You need to know yourself to sell it, basically. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
believe in yourself, no one else will. So
Yeah, and
especially a
overall,
client.
what I see also there is, like, there's a lot of people who are posting a lot of content, which is amazing, but still don't have an offer, or still don't have a like the ideal client very well defined. It's like we want to serve everybody, but what would you say to them? How would you guide them in
It's
this case?
lovely. I mean, we're all coaches, so we all want to help, and we all want to have an impact and add value. But it would be amazing to help everyone, but we can't. And so you have to know your niche, and you have to know your ideal client, because once you know that, you really know the value that you can add to individual people. We can't help everybody. So you need to know precisely what value you add, so that you're not wasting their time, because there'll be other people that can add better value, more value to them, and are more suited to them. So don't waste their time, and don't waste yours, because if you don't know, then you would spend so much of your time chasing people that are not the right people for you, and it's not helping anyone. So you need to be very clear about who your client is, so that when you are meeting people on social media and connecting, you know whether they are your ideal clients.
Yes, that's very powerful. When we know who are we serving to, we can serve it on the highest level, right? And we can honor our time. That's so beautiful. So just to finalize, I mean, it has been great, like to know your story, like the way how you see life, the way how you contribute to, and where your business is growing. So, what's the, let's say, just a general like final message that you would tell people, like if they already like are in this process of building their coaching business, even if they are in a certification process?
It's a roller coaster. So there are going to be days when you doubt yourself, when you don't have the positive energy about you, that you might have, not the support work around you. Self-care is really important, making sure that you are doing everything you can to support yourself. So that you're in the right frame of mind to keep going. And you are going to have days, I mean, I had such amazing highs where I've achieved financial success in weeks that I never thought I could achieve. And there's so much of, the big highs. And then the next week, for some reason, I'd be really low, because I'm not connected with as many people as I want to. But it's an ongoing process. It's not always going to be up here and it's not down here. It's literally just a roller coaster. So having the consistency and not giving up and sticking with it and being persistent.
Okay, and what would you say also to people who are, who are a little bit afraid of investing themselves, or probably they think that they need to wait more time to figure out the things by their own?
If you don't invest in yourself, no one else will. So
That's
you need
powerful.
you need to take the investment in yourself. You need to take yourself seriously and professionally and make the commitment yourself. That is so important. And then, so what was the second point, Natalie?
Yeah, I mean, they want, if there's, there's a lot of people who want to do their thing by their own and wait a little bit more time. What would you say to them?
I think it's a bit like having children. If you're kind of always waiting for the perfect moment, it never arrives. The longer you wait, the longer it will be until you reach the goal that you want to. Sometimes you just need to dive in and get a bit stuck, but that's fine once you've made the decision and make the choice to take action. You need to take the action. You're not going to see any results until you start taking action. So you need to have the courage and the bravery, no matter how scary it may be, no matter how many fears you may have. You need to take the action, just the first step, and that
Love
will
it.
build momentum.
Yeah, that's the point. Oh, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Helen, for being here, for sharing with all of us your journey. I'm pretty sure, and we're gonna be back here when you already hit your 10K. So far, is almost 4K by week, but we're gonna do another interview when you get that. So it's amazing to having you here. It's beautiful that you're in UK and I'm in well right now in California. We met when I was in Galapagos, so life is so cool. The business allows us to do businesses from all around the world. We can have clients from different places. So let's continue chasing our dreams, right? And thank you
Yes.
so much to everybody who's here, to to just reach out to us. Also, Lawrence is sharing that a little bit. Congratulations, Helens, for your success. Awesome story. So we will be talking soon. And yeah, we keep working. Thank you so much. Have a great
Fantastic.
day,
Thank
Helen.
you, Natalie. Have a great day yourself, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah,
Thank
bye
you.
bye. Okay, bye bye. Have a great day.